Welcome to the Leafman podcast. I'm your host, Trevor Taylor. This is my co-host,
Brooks McWhirter.
Yes.
You're welcome for saying my last name.
Thank you. I need it. Okay, let's jump right into it. I got some stuff that I'm passionately interested in talking about today.
Aren't you always?
Yeah, dude, I am. I'm a motivated and passionate guy. Okay, some might even call me what's the
King
word?
Motivational Passion?
No. No, some might even call me sensitive. AKA my wife. I'm a sensitive guy, okay? In a good way, but also sometimes in bad ways.
Welcome to the Leafman podcast.
Okay, leading leaders. I posted this on my story today, but some random dude commented like on one of my stories recently and was like,
Was it on TikTok? Because they're so annoying on there.
I don't know. I don't even remember, but it was like, he was like, it must have been on Instagram because it was in response to a story, not a post. And
Sorry.
he was like, you're fine. And he was like, I was like talking about how I run 6 miles in the morning, and then, I do my estimates and I run Trico and I have time for my wife and to teach at my church, and I still go to the gym in the evenings. He's like, oh, your life seems way out of balance. Like, you can't spend an hour at the gym and an hour running every morning. That's 2 hours a day. And
2 hours a day is fine?
Yeah, 2 hours a day, first of all, is fine for your physical health of this thing that needs to carry me through the rest of my life.
Human beings used to walk all day long.
All day long. Yeah, we used to hunt animals for days on end, running after them.
Yeah.
We're fine.
And it was considered sick.
Yeah. We're fine. So anyways,
Yeah.
I was like thinking about this, right? And we don't need to talk about balance. We've already talked about balance. I don't really care about that.
Gotcha.
But I wanted to talk about like that I feel like personally for me, we run a blue collar company, right?
Yep.
Blue collar companies are already hard to run because it just breeds like rough and tough dudes. It is. Like, if you can work outside in the hot sun or in the freezing cold and like you're in the trades most of the time, like it just breeds difficult people to work with, or like people are down on their luck, that's why they're in the trade, or they're just tough and they just like working with their hands.
Yeah, like we talked about it last week, the getting comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah. And on top of that,
It creates
ours
that.
in specific is a bunch of dudes who have the confidence and newts to fly hundreds of feet in the sky, attached to a crane with a chainsaw, and move thousands of pounds of
Right.
tree. Okay,
That's not easy.
Those kinds of guys are confident in themselves, and to lead those kinds of guys, you have to be an A-team leader yourself.
Right.
Like, why would that guy who has the audacity to do things like that want to follow you? What makes you
Right.
special?
Exactly.
And for me, it's like, it's the fact that like we're both extremely disciplined, right? I do all of the things I say I'm going to do, and on top of those things, like I physically take good care of myself. I go to the gym, I do my runs, and that helps me to establish that like even though I'm not in the field, I'll still come out there and put you in your place if I need to.
Right.
We don't need to because our employees are great because we've taught them how to be great leaders, but
you can do it.
Can't ever let them. I feel like as the leader of that kind of company, like you can't go out there and let them see that like, oh dude, I'll outwork the boss any day of the week.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? I feel like you
definitely
lose
not.
respect.
Well, yeah, because they're constantly wondering where you're at and what you're doing and what it's for,
Yeah.
and because they're hot and tired and whatnot. So if they also think that you can't do what they're doing,
Yeah.
they'll go start their own tree company.
Go start their own tree company. It's like Andy Frisella. He talks about it. He owns First Form, and he like let himself get like fat and out of shape, right? And then he was like,
Once he got money, or
yeah.
after?
Well, he started finding some success with First Form, so he owns a supplement company,
Yeah.
right? And then he lets himself get like out of shape, and he's like a motivational speaker. And then one day he just looked at himself in the mirror, and he's like, I'm preaching all these things, and I own a supplement company that's for
Yeah.
health, and I have let myself go completely. Now he's an absolute animal and kills it in the gym every day. But it's like how much. It's the same thing, right? Like preach what you sow, or sow what you, or whatever.
Reap what you
Reap
sow.
what you sow. Yeah. So it's like
It's a farming term.
It's a farming term. I don't know the definitions behind it. We should look that up.
Oh, reap what you sow is just like you get what you get out.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what
for.
is like in the farming terms, like what is reaping and sowing?
It's when they used to have to use the scythes
Oh,
to get the wheat and stuff.
And then sowing.
And then sowing is
Seeds. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense. Okay, so anyways, regardless.
Got it.
Regardless, we're off point. Thanks for the.
We knew that one. At least that one wasn't a fucking disaster like that first one the first time.
It was bad. Anyways, so it's just like those things, you know, like he owned a supplement company. How are you supposed to sell supplements to people on getting in shape if you're out of shape yourself?
Fair.
Same thing with tree guys, you know, like how am I supposed to convince tree guys to follow me into the darkness and into like this great big abyss that we're supposed to go conquer if like they look at me and they're like, that dude doesn't even get out of bed every day. He doesn't take care of himself. Like if I asked him to come help me on a tree job, he couldn't do it. You know, like
right. Exactly.
That's yeah, I feel like people forget that. It also helps me in my sales pitch, dude. When I show up and I look fit, the homeowner automatically assumes like that guy takes care of himself. He's disciplined. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, like at other tree companies, some of their estimators look rough, bro.
Yeah.
I've run into quite a few of them, and I've had many a time people say that they went with us solely based on the fact that our estimator showed up, like you or me showed up in our uniform, looking professional, in shape.
Yeah, in shape, like ready
Kinda,
to go.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, you're honestly, dude. You've actually lost a lot of weight.
I lost 8 pounds after the surgery.
Yeah, you're looking leaned out, man.
I just gotta get back in the gym though.
Yeah, but honestly, you're still doing your walks, and that was a huge step. Like,
yeah, I just got back on them.
Yeah.
On Monday.
Love the walks, dude, and the running.
Yeah, I got 22 Brad Thor books to get through.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's looking professional, right? Like, how much easier is it to trust someone when you look professional? You look like you're ready to like go do what needs to be done.
Right.
And if you look up like no uniform, looking like a slob, hair not brushed, you know, teeth not brushed, no beard trimmed, like looking fat and out of shape, the homeowner's like, you don't even take care of you, and you want me to trust you to take care of me with this 10,000 million pound tree in my backyard.
Right.
I would not.
Exactly.
So it's the same concept, right? So our job as leaders and leading these other guys is, one, to establish like, hey, we're great. We're not asking you to be anything less than what we are. And I believe that, like, there's a certain level of confidence that comes with it, which I think leads me, I'm going to skip my second question, we'll go back to it, and go into my last question. Do you ever have self-doubt, or do we always think that we're winners? And it kind of goes into the leading thing, right? I believe that we are, in order to lead other leaders, you have to have a winning mentality, and always there's self-doubt. There's always going to be self-doubt. It's a fact of life, but I don't ever admit it. Yeah, I don't admit it, though. I'm not like, oh, yeah, I'm really worried about the future. I'm like, nah, guys, we're good. Right. Because even though it's going on in
sometimes you can write a balance. You can find a balance between there. Sometimes you can ask, I mean, yeah, in that situation, like, maybe you wouldn't be like, oh, well, we're really in trouble. But to an extent, we do say, like, hey, man, is it cool if, like, with me, when in quarter one, it's like, hey, man, it's not going well right now. Mm-hmm. Can you wait a couple days for your check? Yeah. And then it's like, yeah, for sure. Sure. Yeah, but so like that's kind of a form of it, but it's not like, it's just also you just have to reassure them. Yeah. I feel like if you go that route, like if you ever have to admit to an employee, like, hey man, we really need you guys to buckle down on this one, like, yeah. Just explain why. Always explain it.
Work some OT hours and this and that. Yeah. 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 I guess. Yeah. There's it's communication, but not showing self-doubt, right? So, hey, I need you guys to do this stuff, otherwise we're going to have a hard time. Right. So that's an expression of the self-doubt, but I'm not saying like, if you guys don't do this, we're gonna fail, and like, oh no, like I need you guys to do better. It's here's what you need to do for us to succeed. Inside here, oh man, if they don't figure this out, then we are in hot water. Outside here is, here's what you need to do. Let's get it done. Yeah. Right. So it's like the self-doubt is just, how you express it is by telling the guys that they need to dial it in, or telling them what they need to do for us to succeed. But yeah, there's self-doubt, but even in my own head, like, there is definitely times when, you know, beginning of the year when like I bought Spencer out, there was definitely times where it was like, dude, we have payroll on tomorrow, and if we don't not collect on all of the paid stuff from today and the last couple of days, we're not going to have enough for payroll.
Yeah, we never had we don't have a buffer like we always have.
And also, we've never had to, you know what is the most amazing thing about the whole thing? We have never had to pay late on a payroll.
Yeah, that's true.
We've never had to. I think there was like maybe 1 or 2 times where you were like, hey,
me and Matt had to wait till Monday,
Venmo,
I think twice.
Venmo is like jacked up or something. Can we pay you Monday? But like, I've never had to say to someone, hey, we don't have the money. I need a couple more days. Yeah, like exactly. That's been a huge blessing. But there was definitely times where it's
we were close,
and I just always had to tell myself like, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Because that's the actual manifesting. If you keep telling yourself you're going to be fine, then you'll find a way because you're not distracted with, oh, we're failing, oh, we're failing, oh, we're failing. It's, oh, we're finding a way, oh, we're finding a way,
Yeah.
oh, we're finding a way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel about it. I don't know. I get
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So self-doubt, definitely. There's always going to be self-doubt. But if you're a winner, you find a way to not think about the self-doubt and you think about what you need to do to win. That's what winners do. You find a way to win, and you get over the self-doubt because all it is a distraction from the tasks that you need to do to win.
Agreed.
Yeah. What do you got? I got like one more after that.
Okay. Yeah. My topic of the day is like, I don't know. I was just thinking about it earlier, like just listening to guys on Danger Close, Jack Carr's podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out. But like, he has like survivalist people on there and SWAT team, sniper instructors, crazy stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just wonder, like, I know that there are always going to be those who are above and beyond, and there's always going to be those special forces, special operations. There's always going to be people of that caliber in every facet of life.
Yeah.
But for like, what would you say for like the everyday man? Like, as far as manly skills goes, like being like outdoor skills, shooting skills, being able to hunt, being able to fish. I see the whole spectrum of that world.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think is like for like your everyday guy that wants to be
prepared,
be prepared and like at least be able to take care of his family?
How many skills? Is
how much is excessive though? Like you see these Tacomas with like snorkels on them, and we live in the desert.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like at what point are you? Is it not serving your actual purpose?
I think it depends on if you're hiding behind the justification of I need this for survival, or if you're just like, yeah, this is my hobby and I like being a prepper.
Yeah, right. Like if we lived inside Utah Lake, this snorkel would make sense.
Yeah, but like if you were just honest with me and you're like, yeah, I'm into the prepping thing, like I don't really need a snorkel.
As a hobby.
Yeah,
that's
a hobby.
Okay for
totally
sure.
Fine.
That's not excessive because that's your chosen hobby.
That's your chosen hobby.
Don't tell me though, like, oh, I just want to be prepared.
Yeah.
Shut up, dude.
Yeah,
no, you don't.
No, you don't.
Well, I mean, yeah, you do, but but you want me to see it.
Yeah.
And be like, wow, you're so prepared.
Yeah.
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
There's a fine line in there. And
totally.
Yeah, as long as you're honest about it, whatever. I don't think there's like a finite amount of like how much you could do.
True, yeah, that's fair.
But
how much do you think? How much do you think is smart, like the minimum?
Yeah, I think the minimum, dude. Honestly, if you really think about this, right? I like my family is. I wouldn't say Moroni and Sue are preppers, but they definitely don't think the world.
They're more prepared than most.
Yeah, and they think the world is going nowhere good fast. So
right.
I think like they bought a house out in the boonies. They love it. They have some extra rental properties. They've played it pretty smart.
Yeah.
But I think that like
it.
for most people, like I'm not leaving the greater Utah Valley area. Like this is where my business is.
Yeah.
At least for another 10 years or more, like this is where my business is. This is where we're growing. This is where.
Yeah, at a certain point, you could maybe exude yourself from the situation where you don't need to be driving to the office, even every couple weeks. You know? I mean, you'll get to a point where you can run it from another state, but will you want to?
Yeah, I like it here. Like Erica and I have plans to like get a homestead at some point, but for now and for the foreseeable future, like our plan of preparedness, like if you can, I think it would be a great idea to get some chickens. Chickens consistently lay eggs.
Yeah, I really can't wait until I can have chickens.
Yeah, I would love to have some chickens. As far as like people who have small, like if you live in Salt Lake and you live in like a small house or an apartment, you can go to Costco and you can buy a 30-day supply of like, it has like dried meals or whatever in the packages, and it comes in like a 5-gallon style bucket.
Right.
I'll get 3 of those. You got 90 days of dry food meals and like a couple of 5-gallon things of water. Because honestly, beyond that,
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. You could do all that for like $200, dude. Honestly, do one every paycheck, one thing of food, and you're good. And from there, it's like, dude, honestly, if you have more than 90 days of problems, there's bigger problems in the world.
Right, and you're not gonna fix them.
Yeah, you're not gonna fix them. Dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like
that's what it's
let's call it what? Okay, Red Dawn happens.
Yeah, Red Dawn.
and then I run over and I'm running out and I'm doing my stuff, doing my best to survive. You know, fighting the Ruskies. But just like, I'm not gonna see like, I don't want to be the guy that's inside like.
Yeah, like watching out the window for 90 days. Like,
and then what?
And
then 90 days comes and you're like, well,
I'm out of food.
I'm out of food.
If that really happened,
if you had years of food, it wouldn't be any better.
It wouldn't be any better. What are you gonna do? Stay in your house? No.
No.
The eventual plan is
you have to rejoin the community.
Yeah.
You have to be with the community because you're only gonna survive together.
Yeah, exactly. So if those people start relocating south, you have to relocate south. So that whole 10 years of food storage you have saved up, it ain't going with you. And honestly, these hunters, there's a lot of hunters. Like I am a big fan of hunting. Not an advocate. I'm a supporter of it. Like I think it's great. I don't personally hunt. I would love to learn how. It's just not something that's come up in my life.
Right.
But like the hunters are like, yeah, like I need like 30 different rifles in case I like, you know, I gotta go hunt some animals. And I'm like, 30 different rifles is not gonna make it any easier.
Yeah.
Like it's cool to have. Just say that you like rifles.
Yeah,
I don't care.
It's cool to have. I mean, in that situation, like, you know, weapons are gonna be a hot commodity in any sort of post-apocalyptic situation.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but
I
again,
agree.
you got bigger problems. Like
there's
if it comes to that kind of post-apocalyptic, like something went wrong, we got invaded, nuked, or whatever, dude, you got bigger problems, and like there will be communities of people figuring out how to get that done, and your 1 year, 2 year, 3 year food supply is not going to be like the thing that changes. I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna be the thing that changes anything.
Okay, like exactly in that situation, post-apocalyptic, whatever, weather.
Yeah.
Infrastructure, electricity, something. Okay, so your house is now outfitted with 2 months of food, right? Or let's say you had 2 years of food in your basement. I know people that do.
Yeah.
Like 5 years of food in their basement. Okay, so you got that. This scenario, power goes out indefinitely. Now what?
Now what?
You're not gonna stay. You're gonna go search. They're probably gonna establish power stations or something like that with generators, and you're gonna have to go there.
Go migrate there.
You're not gonna have your fucking canned food supply in the basement.
Yeah, dude. The other thing too, like if you really think about it, is like maybe this is a little too dark. I don't know, but there's people who have like nuclear fallout basements. You know, like it's prepped for a nuclear fallout, and I'm like, dude, honestly, if there's a nuclear fallout in this area, pretty much everyone I love is toast. What am I gonna do? Stay down there for 2 years and then
by
come
yourself
out
and slowly go insane?
Yeah, and then come out and be like, "Oh, perfect world! No, all my friends and family are dead. This is the perfect world to live in." Like, absolutely not, dude. Take me with you. I believe in an afterlife, so if that's where they're all going, I would like to be a part of it.
Also, all of their skills are dependent on devices that we have that would be incinerated in the blast.
Yeah, you're gonna get out and like, oh, I'm finally out of my nuclear bomb shelter. Time to call my friends and family. Just kidding. They're gone.
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying to survive for? There's nothing left.
Yeah, exactly. In a nuclear situation, it's like, take me.
Take me. Just go with everybody
I've seen Jericho, and they have no fun at all.
It's not a good time, dude. It's very stressful.
They hate the apocalypse.
For several seasons of stress, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't like it at all. They had like...
You know what?
Ew, they had that peddler's fair, what do they call it? Like that swap meet setup. Oh, dude, if I had to go to a swap meet to get anything, I would freak out.
Dude, you know what they did? You know what they did right in that show? The one thing that I mean, I like Jericho a lot, but the one thing that like really sold me on it was there was like a collection of like army guys that came through town, right? And it was like they were like telling everybody that they were United States Army and like they were here to help, and they were like, we just need some food to get on to the next way station. Can you take care of us? And so like the town got together and like threw a little feast and party, and the dad started catching a lot of the army guys
saying the wrong things.
Yeah, they were like oorah.
And
he was like, he's like, that's not an army thing. Army is hua, not oorah. And that's how they caught everyone in a big lie, and that those guys had actually just found all this army gear.
Exactly.
I was like,
can't trust anyone.
Yeah, I was like, that's accurate. Like that's how I tell if an army guy is like full of crap, like a fake guy. They like always say something like oorah, and I'm like, that's a Marine thing, not an army thing. Army is hua. It's a different word.
and when you're in the army, you don't like saying it.
Yeah, nobody says hua.
Nobody says it.
Nobody says hua. Yeah, except for your command sergeant major, who's like trying to get everybody motivated.
That's Marine shit, dude.
Yeah,
Hoorah!
Hoorah! Yeah.
What do you mean used to be a Marine?
Yeah, the Army does not.
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
The Army just takes no pride in saying hua. If you say hua, you're actually like the outcast. You're like, okay,
I know.
Slow down with your pride there, big guy.
Yeah, you're like the nerd. You're like, oh, did you do your extra homework last night? It's like saying hua is like doing extra credit in school.
Yeah. You must be an engineer, huh?
Good for you.
Oh, okay.
I can tell your combat arms.
Yep. The last one I got is personal growth tied to bonuses.
Let's talk about bonuses.
Yeah, so little precursor so that you guys understand what we're talking about. I met this guy at camp, and I think we talked about this last week. He ended up
maybe.
I teach these young men at my church, and we took them out camping. We all went boating and stuff, and one of the kids' grandpa came out, and he had talked to everyone, was friendly, but I was in charge of all the food, and one night I was cooking, and I cooked an extra plate, and I went and sat next to him, and we started talking, and he ended up being like a retired VP from Sprint, and I was talking to him about how to find success in business and all these things. I ended up talking to him for like 3 hours, and one of the things he said was, you have to find a way to give bonuses that are not tied to production revenue. And I was like, well, why not? And he's like, production revenue bonuses are great, but it's just like it's just generic. Everybody does it, and it doesn't make anyone really feel good. Like, oh, the company made $10 million. I get a $100 bonus.
I got $150, dude.
Sick, dude. Yeah.
No.
So I've been thinking about that a lot, and that's why we did our quarterly reviews with all of our employees, and we started giving them every quarter. We do basically a small version of 75 hard, right? So I make them do 1 minute cold shower, a 1 minute cold shower, and a 45-minute workout. They have to read 10 pages of a self-development book. They have to follow a diet unbroken, and they got to be sober. And if they can do that for 30 days of every quarter, I give them a $500 bonus. We instilled that. So far, only one person has. And
I will never get that $500 bonus because you will never find me even in a lukewarm shower. Ever.
So far we've only had one guy take us up on that. But then we started thinking about other bonuses and other ways to incentivize the guys. And so Brooks and I started giving them we sat down with everyone in their quarter. We're in the middle of doing it right now, in their quarterly review, and we gave them in their personal life, outside of work, a physical goal, a mental goal, a personal growth goal, and then
one was professional, but that's not outside. But that's not outside work.
Yeah, it was not outside work.
So it's physical, mental, personal growth.
Yep. And so we gave them those because I believe that self-development in your personal life will also make you develop and exceed and become the best version of yourself in your professional life as well. So we tied those goals. We had them sit down, write down a few of them together. We picked them out. And then at the end of the quarter, if they have completed all of those goals, then we will give them a bonus.
Yeah.
And I believe as a company, we're doing things that are kind of unheard of. Like, what company gives people bonuses for accomplishing goals in their personal life?
And we're also just a small time tree company, and we have a philanthropy division.
Yeah, we have a philanthropy division. Like, you're heading this up. You're like, we just donated money to Black Rifle Coffee. Like, we are not financially successful enough to for us to really be doing these things, but we are doing them, and we are instilling it in our company culture from the ground up. So years from now, when we're a statewide company, I still want our regional managers to be setting goals for employees and have bonus structures. Now, people could take advantage. It could definitely happen. There will need to be some way for us to manage that in the future. But I still believe the weak will get weeded out and the strong will stay because they know. Yeah. They're like, dude, this company is paying me to pursue my personal goals. What kind of company does that?
And speaking to what you were saying, how most people would disagree with us in the way that they don't think that we're not financially where we should be to be doing these things. It's like, okay, but I was actually thinking about this earlier. I had this thought. I'm glad I remembered it. You reminded me. It's because we don't do philanthropy because we have a company. We have a company because we want to do philanthropy.
Yes. That's the goal. That's a great way to put it. Yeah, the goal was to help people. I didn't start a business to make myself money. I started a business because I wanted to.
How can I make a visible impact on my community?
On my community, yeah.
And my brotherhood of veterans and brotherhood, sisterhood.
So not only how can I make money to help other people and extend my reach, but also how can I create something that gives people a home and provides them like success and like things that like we were not allotted in our career development, you know?
Exactly.
Like, and I feel like we do that, dude. I honestly do. I feel like I maybe it's arrogant, dude, but I feel like Trico might be the best company to work for that exists in Utah County right
Best
now.
one I've ever worked for.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll never leave. I couldn't imagine leaving.
No, I mean, and we've done everything we said we're gonna do. Every
like
time
me and Sarah wanted to move to South Carolina like as soon as we possibly could, and like as soon as you took over and we got to like the point where I actually felt like I was in charge of the charity stuff, because you know how we like before we made a donation, we weren't making videos, we were still doing this. I was still dialing it, but like when we finally dialed it in last week, like honestly on Friday, like I was just like, this is the way.
I'm here. Yeah.
This is the way.
This is the way, dude. Yeah, I honestly feel that way, man. And honestly, I feel like the reason that you have faith in me, or Matt, or any of our guys have faith in me, is because it goes back to leading leaders, dude. I have consistently done the things that I have said I was going to do over and over and over again. And that is how I've built trust in our community. If I was a leader who didn't do those things, then it'd be like, cool, yeah, Trevor says we're going to do this. It's not going to happen.
Right.
And I don't want to do that. I want to be the guy. And that's why we just keep going. We just keep going. We keep writing goals. We keep chasing them. We keep working. And along the way, we try and figure out that balance thing, the rolling balance of life. And it goes good.
Yeah. Also, do you want to know something I thought of the other day?
Huh.
I don't think Billy will care me saying his name on here.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, when you told me that he's going to be taking over like the small equipment, like Withers is the fleet manager, whatever. Billy's taking over like the small equipment and like files, saws, making sure all that stuff they have. That makes his title the equipment manager. You know, like on baseball teams and football teams. That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's that little Indian guy from Ted Lasso.
Yeah, dude. Think about how far these guys have come, dude. Like, honestly, all of our guys, we have so many guys who are in active recovery that are just, like, absolutely killing it in life and never thought they would get this opportunity. And I think that, dude, honestly, I think there's big conspiracies in America or the world or government that is just, it tells people that, like, you can't help someone who has addictions or failures because if you do, they'll just take advantage. And honestly, I feel like a lot of them go back to their addictions and failures because they feel hopeless.
Right.
They have nothing to go for. I cannot get a job that makes me over $12 an hour. Like, what kind of life is this? We give them a chance, and so far,
right,
most of the guys have taken extreme advantage and perform extremely well.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm not saying that's always going to be the case. You're going to get roasted. We will get roasted. It will happen. For sure.
Definitely.
But that's the
cost. We have been.
That's the cost of helping people.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. Yeah, we have been. And we will continue to do it.
And it didn't break us, like our stride that bad.
No, it sucks. And then you move on. And then
not having a foreman for 4 days was crappy, but I barely remember it.
Yeah.
I don't, you know what I mean?
We worked it out. Yeah. All right, man. That's all I got for today. How about you?
That was a good long one, huh?
Yeah, it was a good one.
Or am I crazy?
No, it's good. Yeah, it's like 45 minutes, I think.
Nice.
Yep. All right, that's all I got. Get out of our face.